No. No.
What about Aziz?
No.
So
This is my
it's just
first
you and me.
podcast. Yes.
Me too. first one I've done without drugs.
Oh, well.
We're the only one wearing a costume,
It's
too.
really strange, actually, being totally straight and doing this.
We
But
wear a costume really bad, actually, but I
mean, I don't
they're all
know.
at work, and I was leaving from home.
I was at work, and I was the only one wearing a costume.
yeah,
today.
if you look around here, there's not many people wearing.
I'm
costumes.
kind of disappointed in New Orleans
I wore
this
my
year.
orange shirt. Look, I know it's not like New Orleans at all, is it? Okay. It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris, and Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour. It's a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar today, we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they have a 4-hour happy hour here every single day of the week. That's a weekday, and on the weekends they have an awesome brunch. During the happy hour, all the food at the bar is half price, and all the drinks in the whole joint are half price.
All the appetizers are half price.
Oh, I thought it was all the bar food.
Oh, okay. At the bar, all the
Yeah, I thought if I said at the bar, that would get us around it legally.
Well, that's clear.
Okay, good enough. Close enough. They're not going to sue us, are they, anybody? This is Andrew Duhon, who's back in town from being away. What's that?
Got your back.
Thank you very much, Aziz. Aziz, if you can talk, you have to lean into this black thing.
Absolutely, yes.
I know, you know what that is. This is Plus Aziz, everybody.
Hi.
From a band called Kuwaisiana.
That's right.
Now,
Nice.
you have to enter the thing. Come on, dude. That's it. That's it. So Kuwaisiana is a band that plays Kuwaiti music. Or
Not
Arabic
exactly.
music,
I would
or-
say it's like indie rock, but I'm using and reclaiming my language. So I'm singing in Kuwaiti dialect, and slowly but surely we're introducing more like Khaliji rhythms, as in rhythms from the Arabian Peninsula.
And what does that mean, Khaliji?
Khaliji is like that's the Arabian Peninsula. So you
By the
have-
way, how about my accent? Pretty good.
yeah, pretty good.
See if you can say that, Andrew.
Khaliji.
Khaliji.
That's great.
Pretty good.
Thanks.
That was
First
good.
try.
That's all that-
And this is Andrew Preble.
That was me. I
You
was
have to try to do the whole Khaliji.
I don't know if I can mix the two together. I can do the, but I'm not sure if I can do the
Khaliji. Okay, well,
Khaliji.
maybe that was
Khaliji.
perfect,
Okay,
wasn't it?
Okay.
I approve.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, you're nodding your head, but
And this is Alex Rosen, who's going to try and say Khaliji next.
I'm not going to try.
You let me try.
No way.
Where are you from originally?
Lafayette,
Isn't
Louisiana.
that sort of like foreign?
Yeah,
Ish?
you could say that. It's more Cajun
Right,
than...
but don't they have French? Isn't that the same as the...
I didn't learn French. That wasn't...
Are you Cajun?
Half?
Half Cajun. that's
I'm half
pretty-
Jewish also. So.
Half Jewish and half Cajun. Hey, that's got to be a good idea for a band as well, right there.
Absolutely.
Cajun klezmer.
Yeah.
Cajun klezmer.
Yeah.
I have
Perfect.
zero musical talent, so somebody else
the
will have to take that
clapping.
Well,
idea.
that's a good thing
I
that
like
you...
alliterations too. So Cajun klezmer has a good ring. to it.
What's assonance?
What's what?
Assonance. Is it the opposite of alliteration?
No. What's
What is it?
assonance? Is that words
Zero.
that sound the same?
I don't know. C-Rock, what is
No.
assonance?
Google Master.
Repetition of the sound or a vowel in non-rhyming stress syllables.
It's a vowel.
Vowel
So it's the
sound.
opposite of alliteration, which is hard sounds. Assonance is...
Well, it's not technically the opposite.
Well,
You
okay.
can have a.
You're in a very nitpicking kind of mood today.
I don't know, man. I got back.
So I was thinking that everybody's name here starts with an A. Isn't that assonant?
Yeah. 4 A's.
Oh, is it?
Aziz, Andrew, and Alex.
Oh. Wait. Is that right?
Yes. That's right.
That's right.
So vowels are assonant and consonants are alliterations.
I think that's
is
true.
it?
I don't know. I thought somebody here would have
Wait a
an
minute.
education. That's
Could
why
you,
it's
could you
serious.
read that definition
Somebody
one more time for
watching us
assonance?
should on Facebook Live should look it up and
So,
tell
well,
us
that's
in the
what
comments,
C-Rock would tell us.
Could you read it one more time?
So an example of assonance is rise high in the bright sky.
Could you read the
Okay.
definition one more time?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the first letter because rise
Repetition
high.
of a sound or vowel in non-rhyming stressed syllables. It's pretty wordy.
So if I said
can't really
Alex,
tell.
Andrew, and Aziz,
That's an
wouldn't that be-
alliteration.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
an
like
That's alliteration, not
alliteration is the
assonance.
first letter.
Yeah, it's just the first letter.
Would we also say that all alliterations are assonant?
No, they're the opposite. I think alliteration is a
I
hard
don't think
sound.
there's an opposite in a.
No, I think
I think I'm just
you're
totally
confusing
wrong
the
about
thing by
this.
saying
Yeah.
opposite.
I
It's not,
think
it's just different.
alliteration is a hard sound like K, 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 and assonant is a vowel sound like I.
But I would have thought
I
that
disagree.
Well,
me
I could
too.
be wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to take a vote on
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All
what
right,
I was going to say.
I vote that I'm right. Who else votes I'm right?
I'll go with you.
Hey, thanks,
I don't
Alex.
know.
Excellent.
3-1, we're winners. Great.
Okay,
I'm just
you
gonna
guys
get
win.
out of
All right,
this.
well, I guess we're wrong. So much for that.
Somebody could have abstained. We didn't actually vote.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe
I
we
guess
didn't
that
vote.
should have been me.
So Andrew Duhon, do you know who Andrew Preble is?
No.
Wait till you find out. Okay,
Okay.
so Andrew Preble is the guy who owns a company called Delaport. Is it Ventures?
Correct.
They're the guys who run. Andrew came up with the idea and created Escape My Room.
Oh, cool.
Remember
We've
that?
been there.
Yes, we did it together.
We did it
Yeah.
together, and
Andrew-
we failed.
No, we got out.
We got out not in the nick of time, though.
We got out
They gave us
thanks
a little
to
extra
other
time.
people. We were terrible at it.
Yeah.
We were
Well,
both.
That's
pretty-
all right. That's all right.
It's very exciting.
Yeah,
we had
it
a
was
lot of fun.
It was
Well,
fun.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the important thing is that you have fun, of course. So
Yeah.
it's not about whether you win. It's about or get out.
But I thought we did get out.
About teamwork, right?
Didn't the other people all figure it out? Mr. Mitch Foreman, who does our music for the show,
Yeah.
he was with us. and
That's right.
He was pretty good. And then
Yep.
Desiree's daughter Clara.
That's
who's-
right.
What, she's
Yeah.
about
But
12.
it's all about teamwork. So it's not about the
Right.
individual there. It's about everyone coming together and
Yeah.
Well, so how
Figuring
did you
out.
come up with the idea for this?
So I didn't come up with the concept in general of escape rooms.
Well, perhaps
They
you
were-
could describe the concept to people who don't know
Yeah,
what we're talking
so an escape room is where, very simply, you are in a room for an hour and you have to figure out how to get out of that room.
You're locked
and
in
you're locked in a room. There's different ways of locking. We don't actually lock the door you go in for safety reasons, but you have to escape through a different door. And you have puzzles and clues in the room that you have to figure out and interpret in order to get out of the room.
So when I first heard about this, I thought, well, they'll be around for about 3 weeks and then you'll have to go get a job. But this thing has been going great.
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. So, and I think that says a lot about the experience economy that we're in right now. I think it's just when you can buy a huge TV for $300 and that's not super fun to do. You can't. I mean, you can impress someone with a huge TV, but it's more impressive to do really fun adventures. And so I think, and as we get more and more digital, there's a need to go back to physical. So we try to take as much digital, as many digital things as possible out of the experience, and make an experience where people can connect again. And
So you're suggesting that people don't want to stay home and watch Netflix. They
Correct,
want to go out and do something.
correct.
I had not
Yeah.
found that to be true.
well, I guess it depends on the person. I mean, everyone's
Well,
different.
how-
And
how do you
some nights I
explain-
do feel like watching Netflix at home, but I think
Right.
the majority of time, I would rather go out and do something fun. And given the choice between a movie or between an event or an experience like Escape My Room, I would choose a more experience where you get to talk to everyone and you get to learn more about everyone that you're
I
with
agree.
and
It's
connect
much
with
more
them.
fun than
So,
going to a movie. But I get the feeling that most people don't want to go out of their house at all anymore. They want to stay home and order Waiter or Uber Eats.
I
and
think that's
not leave.
certainly convenient.
But
If you wanna
you're
do
saying
but
that you find the opposite, that people are looking for experiences.
I think so. No, I think.
Are you just
I mean,
saying
it's
that 'cause
hard
you
to-
own an experience?
Well, no, it's hard to say. Again, I disagree with your use of opposite there, but
Well, we're back to that again. At least it was illiterate.
Thank you.
but no, I think there's a need as we become more disconnected as a culture to grow back and to swing the other way and try to find ways then to become connected, even if they're contrived. Maybe contrived is the wrong word, but if they're curated and meant to bring you specifically back together.
Right.
I think what we're landing on here, Grant,
Yes.
is really helping out the situation by it's very clear what we need. It's an Uber Eats meets escape room, which is escape my own house, where somebody comes along and locks you into your own household, throws some clues under the door to get out of your own house.
Well, that's a pretty cool idea,
You know?
actually.
Yeah.
You might want to keep that.
And most of them are just voice prompt sorts of things that you
Escape
can
my
figure
own
out
room.
while you're
Well,
sitting on the couch.
Alexa, Alexa can chime in too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
that's a pretty
Google
good idea.
Home, and they
Do you
can-
have to come up with different ideas, like
what? Like,
Yeah, how often
like
do you
kind
have
of business
things-
ideas?
like,
no,
yeah,
I
can
mean,
you-
I
can you
love
keep
talking
going
about
just-
new ideas?
can you do you have to diversify like other businesses?
So we are right now. We're opening up a new attraction at the Aquarium of the Americas called Escape Extinction, and so that's kind of it's a little different than an escape room in that you're on this mission to save sharks from extinction, and the everyone will complete the mission. But how many sharks you save or how well you do is depending on how well you.
I know this is a
you
stupid
do
question.
each thing.
Okay, but you're not locked in the Shark Tank, right?
You're not locked in the
cage or
Shark
something.
Tank. No.
okay.
Unfortunately,
I knew that was gonna be no.
well, the practical, there's some practical things. We did want to include live animals in this
Yes.
experience, but live animals are very expensive. We found out to take care of and to.
You're not part of the Audubon Institute, right? They're
No, we're not. My company is not part of the Audubon Institute, but we partnered with them to create this experience.
so this is actually in the aquarium.
It's inside of the aquarium
Okay.
in the
You have
the
a-
former IMAX lobby, which is now the Entergy Giant Screen Theater
Right.
lobby.
Okay, so it's in the lobby of the.
Correct, in a
Have you
former
guys-
gift shop space. So it was a gift shop, and we
Have
took
you
it
been
over.
to the aquarium, Aziz? You ever been in there?
I have been. I'm actually
What'd you
wondering, kind of like the overall objective of what you guys are doing is it to like bring people closer together? Like how is Audubon?
I mean, so
experience
with
different?
this specific experience, we're trying to teach everyone about sharks and about kind of humanize them in a way and show that they, we shouldn't be afraid of them. That they should be way more afraid of us. And then
Really?
And
We
up
don't,
to
we don't
the-
usually want to eat them.
the
though.
numbers are kind of skewed depending on who you look at, but at least 150 million sharks are taken out of the oceans every year, and up to something like 450 million. So it's a crazy
What?
number.
Why are they?
that we don't?
Why are we
it's-
catching them?
It's a lot of different reasons. I think there's some for food, some for bycatch. But it's
What's that?
mostly
What is bycatch?
bycatch is accidental catch. So you're not even trying to catch a shark, but they get caught in the nets, like sea turtles used to be until they
Right.
created these devices. So, or long lines are another way. So.
Well, who's counting 150 million? Is there?
Well, that's why it's
fish
hard
counter?
to. It's very hard to say the number. So I think on the lower side it's 150 million. On the upper side it's 450 million. So there's.
But who's
huge-
even counting the 150 million? Who's keeping count?
I would have to do some research on that. And
You
get
haven't-
back to
Spielberg.
you. So.
What I do appreciate having experienced the escape room and what you're talking about here with the escaping extinction is there's kind of the subplot of the main plot is we're stuck in this problem together and we're going to do our best to solve it.
Yeah,
Which is
correct.
something that in the real world we're not stuck. We can all run away from a problem. But that's pretty cool that you're combining these two things so that we can figure out how to literally escape a real problem. That's nice.
So it's a fun and at the end, hopefully, even if you don't change your habits because of this, you'll at least understand what sharks are going through and may make decisions in the future based on that. And
I
for
heard
fisheries in
sharks are
general.
kind of like puppies, actually. I watched a documentary on Netflix.
Really?
It was about
Well, they
about
certainly
sharks.
eat your furniture. Like that's kind
Oh,
of like
I've
a
heard that
puppy.
there's a huge misconception about sharks that they're very much like affection. They just have never dealt with affection. So these scuba divers who are off the coast of like the Bahamas and all this stuff, like they've shown them affection, actually touched them, and they come back for more, and they actually really, really love it. And so there's a lot of now
They're
stuff
kind
out there that's like don't
They're like-
extinguish the sharks because they're not. There's
Sharks
more.
are our friend.
They're like the Edward
Yes.
Scissorhands of the sea. They have
Yes.
a good heart. They just harm people.
And there are a
with
lot
these-
of different types of sharks and species of sharks. So they're not all big. They don't all, have big teeth. There's plenty of different species
Is
of
that
sharks.
right?
And but they are the ones that are big are the apex predators, and those are very important to keep everything in balance.
Apex predators. You know a lot about this sort of thing.
Oh yeah, well we've been learning a good deal. this is almost 2 years in the making. So,
So,
you know,
how do they market this? How do they get people to come?
well, that's
'Cause they have
I'm
a
on the
huge-
podcast right now, so hopefully
This is how we're going to get people to go to. Yeah.
But we haven't done too much to market it just yet. We're waiting to open. It opens November 13th as kind of the soft opening, an unofficial opening, and then we'll build slow. With any of these projects, there's a huge amount of people involved, maybe like 60, 70 different people that are doing different parts of it, from the music to the animations to the construction to the,
this is
you know,
huge.
whatever, like a big movie. And so it's tricky. And this is our kind of first project at this scale. And so it's tough to say how it's going to work on day one. And these things always get better. So they, you know, you see how people walk through and play it. You can design it one way and you can play test those game ideas, but then at the end of the day, you have no idea how guests are going to experience it.
You're in the same business, Alex. I mean, you're at the same position, launching a whole new project and not knowing how it's going to go. Alex is the marketing manager at the new Fillmore Theatre.
Yeah. So
Which is-
we're neighbors. I hope we get invited to that.
No,
soft opening.
you know, anytime we need tickets to something too, I hope.
Yeah.
Likewise, you know, I'm happy to trade for.
So
Well-
tell us about the Fillmore. The Fillmore is a new House of Blues type theatre, owned by the same people, Live
so
Nation.
it's owned by Live Nation. We're 2,200 capacity. You know, we are in the same division as House of Blues and our Live Nation office that book shows in Champion Square, the Smoothie King Center, Superdome, all of Louisiana and Mississippi.
So
But,
this is called the Fillmore, like the famous Fillmore East. But this is actually in Harris Casino.
It is. It's on the second floor of Harris. They're, you know, they're our landlords. They've been great through our whole process. We work really closely with them, but we have a second entrance on Canal Street, so we have a lot of all ages shows that people can go through this entrance. So you don't have to go through Harris. You don't have to be 21 to get into a lot of our shows. So we have a lot of great shows.
Okay. I saw
What
that.
kind of shows are you lining up?
So our first two grand opening shows are the two nights of the Foo Fighters, and we have Duran Duran and
Duran is coming.
Duran Duran's coming.
Oh my God, when is that?
That is February 19th.
Wants to know.
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta go to that.
It's going to be
go.
a great show. We're excited about it.
Duran. Oh my
Duran
God, that
Duran.
wasn't expect. That's almost like a casino type gig.
Yeah, kind of, except a little
But
bit.
you're not booking them, though,
We're
right?
not.
You're
so
not
we're,
booking them. You're just
me
the market.
personally, no, I'm
so
not.
they tell
booking
you
them.
who's coming in.
Yeah.
You've got to sell these.
Right.
shows.
So we have a local talent buyer, Alex Bowen, who he's booking our acts, and we have a general manager, Abby Jones, all from, you know, the House of Blues team. We're all a local team, not very far. So, you know, yeah, they book the shows. They tell me what to do. I market them. I make sure you know about them.
Yeah. So what makes them think, do you think, as a marketing person, that there's enough market here for yet another venue like this?
It's kind of that in between. So, you know, from a Live Nation standpoint, we're hoping to start shows at House of Blues and start an artist at House of Blues and work their way up to the Superdome level. So, you know, we start an artist there at the 800 capacity. They get bigger and bigger. We
So
book
House of
them at the
Blues has only
Fillmore.
got 800 people.
It's, I mean, it's like 860. Don't quote me on that because I'm not
Okay,
at House
so,
Blues. But it's the music hall in general is about 860.
Are you trying to say that your whole idea is to take talent and develop it?
That's what I think our goal is for the
I
long
find
run.
that
You know,
really hard to believe, but that would be nice if it was true. Is that really true?
I think it's true. You know,
That
I
Live Nation,
really-
this giant company that owns
It
Ticketmaster
is.
and everything else, and iHeartRadio and Clear Channel and everything, actually.
Look on the granular level, and maybe you can help me out with this. There's certain events that happen at the House of Blues that are very grassroots oriented.
Very.
So there's that homegrown night. I forget the name of the gentleman who runs it, but it seems like it's very happening and it's well attended. So I mean, the way that I see it, at least, is just like this kind of conglomerate.
Yeah.
And 70% of it is going to be Foo Fighters and Duran Duran, and then maybe 30% is going to be artist development in like different cities and
But
stuff.
that would be cool too.
I mean, that's our goal. That's what, you know, me as a marketing manager, that's what I hope to achieve. And, you know, this is my city. Even though I'm not from here, like this, I've been here for the last 2 years. This is my second home. So I want to give back to New Orleans and stay in touch with the city. And, you know, our whole team is local. So we want to do the same thing.
Are there many other Cajun Jews here? In New Orleans,
Yes,
is there a big
our
Cajun Jewish
talent
community?
buyer. Shout out to Alex Bowen. He is also my other Cajun Jew. The
Are
only
you
other.
serious?
Yeah, we
and
went
he's
to
also
the.
called Alex.
He is.
How weird is that?
It's so weird. We even went to the same high school. He's 10 years older than me. I
Which
think,
school?
So. St. Thomas More Catholic High School
St. Thomas More. Okay.
in Lafayette, Kudat.
How funny. Okay, that's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
so Aziz, it's time to play some sort of Khaliji music for us.
Is it?
Yeah, what do you think?
Okay.
Who are you texting in the meantime?
No, I'm writing notes down.
How about how to get a gig at the Fillmore?
I'm writing down Alex Bowen, booking guy at
Ah,
Fillmore,
good
Cajun
thinking.
Fusion. It might be inaccurate, but
yeah.
it'll
He's
help
gonna
me
kill
out.
So you're
that.
actually like a sort of a star, I see.
A star?
Yes, because that's your first record, which is called Chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
Came out on Universal Mina, which
Yes.
is like a big deal.
Well,
international
Universal
label.
Music in the Middle East is not quite like Universal Music Nashville, right? So
I would hope not.
the situation that we were in was reaching out to these folks and them wanting to give us one of these like 360 deals, and because of their attitude, which is very flexible, we were able to trim it down to be a distribution deal. So they actually don't exercise a lot of decision making when it comes to touring and producing and music videos and all that stuff. So it's like going with TuneCore or something, but you're
So
going with the big kind of like name.
So what do they do for you? Do they?
They do the distribution, so that's kind of like you could say it's a
What does-
one-time thing.
What does that mean exactly? 'Cause
That means
distribution-
that I give them the WAV files, and then they make sure it's on Spotify and Amazon Music and iTunes.
Okay.
And then they tell me, hey, like, don't post it up here, don't post it up there. And I'm like, well, I want to post it there. Can I post it there? You know, it's like it's a conversation. But it's just like something that they do to set up, and then I might ping them for like social media posts or something for them to post for us if we have an announcement or something. But it's not a comprehensive deal where we're getting touring funds and
Right.
production money and everything.
So is it a good relationship? I mean, do they?
It's a great relationship.
help
I
you?
thought they were going to be so much more standoffish, but and it's because I've talked to other record labels. Maybe you have a similar experience, Andrew. But a lot of people get very nervous. A lot of people get very nervous when you like bring lawyers and you're trying to negotiate like numbers and stuff. So we dealt with a few record labels that just kind of like ran off when that conversation started, you know. But Universal was very much there and willing to bend where they could bend. So there's certain clauses around like them controlling me as an asset that the lawyer was able to get out of the contract, and they were very comfortable with that kind of arrangement.
That's what Prince was trying to do, I believe, for about 25 years.
Yeah,
before
well, yeah, he's got a lot more material than me, so.
C-Rock.
You ever seen Aziz's stickers around town?
I don't know. Do we? Have we?
This is interesting.
Okay.
What do they say, Aziz?
What do they say?
They say, well, you go for it.
I don't know what they say. They haven't told me
Okay.
anything.
It's a standoff. They say got Islamophobia.
Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
God, Islamophobia.
That was the
Jeez,
first.
that's going for a marketing
That's
angle.
yeah, that's definitely marketing. So, first round of flyers that I put up posed this very provocative question before, like Trump was really president. Kind of, I mean, just recognizing that it's like this major cultural trend.
You've got a
that's-
good memory. I can barely remember when he wasn't. It must have been great.
So yeah, I started
Yeah.
just putting them up as a kind of like mystery marketing, if you know, like guerrilla marketing is kind of just lead them wondering. Like some people were looking at it and they were just like, is this an Islamic hate group, or is this like a band, or is this, what is this? So the idea there was to generate curiosity, you know,
Right.
and that's kind of like the first layer of marketing. And then since then, we've been rolling out campaigns that basically connect a little bit more to like this entity called Kuwaisiana is music.
Now, how
And
do you
so
know
hammering
about
it.
marketing like this? Are you a marketing
I studied
guy?
it.
Oh, so
I worked
you're
in
also in
marketing,
marketing.
too.
Everybody's in marketing here. That's handy to have a musical ability and a marketing.
Yeah, it sometimes gets in
Background.
the way. Sometimes
In
you
what
just
sense?
really have to let things go and let the audience and you know, certain people kind of have ideas, and if you have the strong kind of like marketing brain, then you're going to have a very strong sense of like, no, this is like what I need to do, and you know, these other things don't matter so much. But over time, I've just kind of learned to surround myself with reliable people, and you know, you can do a lot of the artist management work, you can do a lot of the marketing work and social media work yourself, but then it starts slowly but surely eating away at the time that you have to actually sit down and write music
That's what Andrew
be creative.
tells us too.
So a lot of musicians go through that, and I'm sure, Andrew, you have your own kind of like experience with that as well.
Totally, yeah. You're juggling the batons, right? And I would say that I feel lucky to have half of a marketing bone in my body, and it's well served by your creativity, right? But the creative part isn't innately marketing minded. You know, when you sit down to write a song, hopefully you're not thinking about ways that you would market it. You're just writing the song, and then you can figure out how you want to market the whole thing. But I think maybe marketing needs art, but art doesn't need marketing, so to speak.
I like that.
That's a good way of putting it.
Poetic.
Okay,
Thanks, I'm
before we
usually
get
not that
on-
concise. I don't know.
Before we go any further, you want to play something?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, grab the guitar. What are you going to play? What are you thinking of playing?
Okay, so
Can you fit in there? Is that okay?
yeah,
Okay.
seems to be okay. This first song I wrote more recently. It's called Baraha. Baraha is like an open sand field, and it's where I would gather with my troublemaking friends after we were done with school, and the song is kind of about being there, kind of about my experience of like coming into adolescence, you know, like first fights, being bullied, and then like the world of the opposite gender, and kind of like just opening myself up to that world. Because in Kuwait, it's a very like conservative society, you can imagine.
So this is the coming of age in Kuwait?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The initial chapter of my teenagehood was tainted by the bullies of my neighborhood. قالوا ليش لابس أسود بأسود صابغ أظافرك جنك نثية هوشة هوشة ودوني البيت kicking, screaming, there's no place like home. تكفى قل لي قصة حياتك. Won't you show me something real?
I got the translation to the lyrics if you want them.
كنا تونا طالعين من باب المدرسة شفنا فاشينيستا تتصور بالبراحة تبيك تجرب حظك يا المزيون burnt and resurrected by the moon. قالوا موت جنك نثية قامت مالت على وجهك هوشة شبت شبريت أحمر كيف كيف على فيكيشن تكفى قل لي قصة حياتك
Okay.
What did that last word mean? Wahda.
Wahda bwahda. Eye for an eye.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going to write, how do you spell that? W-A-A-H-D-A?
Oh, I can write it down for you. Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. Okay, so that's really interesting. It reminds me of, these bands that have crossed over from other cultures, like the Gypsy Kings.
Yeah.
And who else has there been? I guess there have been others that I can't think of. Are you in that sort of crossover type?
I'd like to be, yeah. There's a lot of world music, right, that kind of like weird genre that spills over into a lot of different other genres like rock and pop and so on and so forth. So you have like this kind of bands with a runaway single that'll kind of like break into the West or something, and then they'll try to leverage that to kind of, to kind of sell it.
Chib Memi or one of those. Is he one of that? Is that guy's name?
There's Shab Khalid. There's like Mashrou' Layla is very well known. Mashrou' Layla is a Lebanese band.
Right.
There's a lot of acts coming from like Korea and China as well.
So are you a big star in Kuwait?
I don't think so. I think there's because the thing is, like, there's 3 million people in Kuwait, and 1.3 of them are actually Kuwaitis. So a lot of the people who are kind of like movers and shakers there aren't even really Kuwaiti,
The majority of the population of Kuwait are not Kuwaitis.
Yes, which is very typical of countries in the Arabian Peninsula. You guys might know, like in UAE and Saudi Arabia, Qatar, a lot of these countries have a disproportionate kind of like...
Well, where's everybody from?
Everywhere. A lot of Canadians, Germans, Pakistanis, Indians, Filipino. So, it's kind of cosmopolitan if you seek it out, but usually people just kind of stick to their own kind. But yeah, that's the culture that I grew up in. So I think a lot of the music is kind of about me personalizing that experience, because a lot of what I went through just seems very...
Were you there when... Who invaded Kuwait?
Iraq.
Yes, Iraq.
Yeah, I was there.
Good answer. You were there.
Yeah.
And then we invaded Iraq to get Iraq out of Kuwait. So you were actually there.
Yeah, I was there during the Gulf War.
Holy shit.
So that was early 90s. It was before my passion for music had really bloomed. I remember George Michael and Duran Duran and Michael Jackson.
Duran Duran.
Some bands like that.
On May 9th.
But I was a kid. I remember a lot of things. And the other thing that I also like to remind people about that specific war is that it wasn't a super long war. So a lot of wars that happen in the Middle East last for basically eternity. And that war was just kind of I don't know. It just seems like it was just kind of like a flash in the pan.
What was your impression of the United States at that point?
Were
they like a savior, or were they an invading force?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you think of America as a very great, compassionate place from the outside, but you're struck by the reality almost as soon as you enter. So I went to Penn State, and that was kind of like my first impression of what is Americana. And it's the same experience that a lot of foreign students have. You watch Friends and you watch Disney and you think that America is this great place where everyone cares, and then you come here and you learn that they're just like everyone else. So that was definitely, like the pop culture.
But you're still here.
I'm still here,
Long
for the music.
time later. What's your immigration status?
I would prefer not to comment on that.
Are you serious?
I just gotta choose
Are
not
you a
to.
refugee?
I mean, it could be.
You can't say you're not illegal.
I prefer not to.
Are you illegal? Because we can help you out.
Oh, nice. I'll talk to you after the
we
show.
can adopt you. Well, okay. We'll move right along then from that. Andrew, how's it been around the country? You've been traveling around all over the place.
Yep. Can't remember anything before Lafayette. I was in Lafayette for a week.
A week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you wrote that down for me?
Where were you?
I was at the Black Pot Festival and the Black Pot Camp.
You stayed over at
I did.
Black Pot.
Yep.
How was it?
It was great. I set up a tent for a week and change, and so most people just set up their camp for the Black Pot Festival, right, which is a cook-off and play some tunes. So I got booked for the Black Pot Festival, but I knew from friends in Lafayette that there's a Black Pot Camp the week before, which is essentially a crash course in Cajun fiddle, Cajun guitar, Cajun dance, Cajun cooking, Cajun language, Cajun songs. So trying to get back to my roots. I'm a Duhon, and
I see you brought a guitar with you.
I did, yeah.
Did you learn any Cajun?
I didn't learn any Cajun song. No, the jewel. It's going to take me a while before I actually know a Cajun song. But the jewel of the trip is that I have this fiddle that someone actually in Lafayette gave me at a show some years back. And I haven't picked it up. It's not an instrument I play. But I knew this was my chance to get a couple of lessons. And after a couple of lessons, I've played it every day. I'm on my way. I'm an aspiring Cajun fiddler.
Oh my God! What a great story.
They have a great violin shop in Lafayette too.
That's right. Solar violins.
Yes, I think that's it.
Is it Sola?
Well, the fellow who owns the famous shop in Arnaudville was there. His name's Tom. I'm not sure if that's the same one, but yeah, there are plenty of fiddlers out there, you know. And the other thing is, they're like the thing that the camp itself attracts are folkies, but like folkies who put my folkiness to shame, you know, like old time folk song folkies and Cajun music folkies, and you know. So
these are all musicians who have got nothing better to do than sit around in a tent for a week?
It's not all musicians. I would say it's 75% musicians and 10% French native speakers who just come over and want to learn the Cajun culture. 10% hippies in their van who needed a new place to park and hang out. And another 5%, I don't know.
How many people in, like, raw numbers are there? Like a couple hundred or 1,000?
Yeah. Probably between 100 and 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to know people. You're living with 200 people for a week.
Here's the thing. You're at the same campsite the whole time, the whole week, and the same classes are every day. So you just look at your little syllabus there, and you decide, today I'm going to take Cajun guitar for beginners, or tomorrow I'm going to take advanced fiddle, or something. You know, you decide what you want to take. Take the dance class, take the cooking class.
Did you take a dance class?
I did. Yeah. And but the other thing, well, I learned what's it called? Can't remember what it's called. But you know,
like
Cajun
two-step?
Yeah, sure, 2 steps. Yeah, that one's simple. But you know, the every single night there's a barn that kind of backs the whole campground. And every night, the barn, it turns into like a roadhouse. They have great bands, great Cajun bands booked every night. So the whole camp goes in for their gumbo, their dinner, right? And then the band strikes up, and you're just dancing with everybody in camp. And the whole culture to the Cajun dancing is like, this is not a courtship. You're just dancing with everybody. You know, it's really nice.
Where was that?
It's in Eunice, in a campsite called Lakeview.
Okay.
The thing with Cajun dancing is, though, if you're a guy, you're supposed to lead.
That's right.
So
Most dances are that way.
Is there Arab dancing? Like folk dancing?
But there it's like everyone's like, no touching.
Right.
That's the way the Arab dances work.
Yeah. What kind of dancing
I
is
guess in Hispanic cultures they'll have, you know, dances where you're the rumba or the samba, like dances like where the male is expected to know what they're doing.
But is it like Cajun dancing? Like you go to these fedodos and everybody just dances with everybody, as Andrew's saying. Is that the same sort of thing where people just dance with strangers?
I wonder. I mean, I definitely experienced something similar in like Texas. You've seen, you know, just people swing dancing and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool because you can go dance with anybody and everyone's got a different style and a different Did you go Cajun dancing when you were a Jewish Cajun?
We had to learn it in my 3rd grade class. We had to do a play, so I had to learn how to Cajun dance, and I still know it to this day.
Yeah.
So you guys could do a quick turnaround.
I mean, I'm not a great dancer, so I don't know how good that would be.
You don't have to be good. As a woman, though, you get led around.
That's true.
The guy has to be good and you follow.
However, you'd be surprised.
Well, you know, that's why it's kind of, I was envying the women who were, you know, making their rounds and dancing a lot each night because they were getting so many different styles and versions of the dance. But as a guy, you're just like, is this okay? Is this all right? How am I doing? That last guy was better, wasn't he? All right.
What a great experience. That must have been really fun.
Yeah.
So you know you're going to be a fiddler. Hey, you want to play something on the actual guitar? Well, pity you didn't bring the fiddle. That would have been really fun.
It's in the car, actually. But no, I'm not ready. Not ready. Too much pressure.
That would be kind of fun, though.
Next time.
Okay, so when does Fillmore open?
February of 2019. So the Foo Fighters on the 15th of February is our first show.
And I looked on the website, that's sold out.
It is.
And that's the
Both
first
nights.
show. Both nights are sold out for the Foo Fighters.
It is, unfortunately.
So could you get anyone listening to this in some way if they could?
That's not
Is
my
there like
call.
a free ticket?
I wish, because I can barely get in myself.
Are you serious?
Marketing manager,
Wow.
yeah.
So then, Who have we got in between the Foo Fighters and Duran Duran?
There's nobody in between the Foo Fighters and Duran Duran.
Are they the next band?
They're the
I
next
thought they were
band.
May, you said. I must have misheard
No,
that.
they're the next band, and then
Okay.
after that,
Are they sold out? Is Duran Duran sold
Duran
out?
Duran is not yet sold out. It's very, very close, but not
Really?
yet.
I'm shocked to hear
It
that.
is. So if
anyone
you're going
wants
to get
Duran
tickets,
Duran
you should get
except
them now.
Okay. How much?
I'm not going to say.
75 maybe.
What?
Sure.
You don't know?
No, I do know. They're about
can't
like
say?
no,
Is
they're
it a secret?
$100 about GA, but you know,
That's about right, isn't it?
but I mean, the Fillmore itself is going to be like another level of venues over here. Like, it's so nice. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
To be a part
And
of it.
how different is it to something like the Sanger or the Orpheum? Is it the same idea? Is
it's
it
kind of
seating?
so we do have a GA floor, and then we have stadium seating, and then we do have boxes, and our boxes are, you know, even with the stage, you're basically eye level with the artist, and there's really no bad seats in the house, and it's just gorgeous. We have these gorgeous chandeliers. It's very intimate. We have both these massive bars on both sides. We have a VIP lounge. We have a lobby bar. Like, it's fantastic.
So what-
I'm excited just to
What
go
was
there.
this joint before it was the Fillmore? What
It
did
was
the Harris do?
nothing. It was
just empty.
It was
The
empty. It
Harris
was
just
totally
had
empty.
space in there.
It was, and so we only take up about a third of the second floor of Harris. So there's 2/3 empty of.
So there's room
space.
for another Escapemyroom up there or something.
Apparently so, or
this is-
whatever else.
This isn't the space where Offbeat does their awards. It's not that
No,
stage.
it's
Got
not
it.
that. So
Hey, Alex, quick question. Is I'm over here.
Oh, hi.
Is the are the chandeliers like a trademark Fillmore thing?
I believe that they are, and you know, I'm not 100% sure that they're in every Fillmore. However, they're very trademarked to us, and they're very trademarked to the brand that we want to portray to New Orleans, of like this next level experience of
It's fancy.
seeing your favorite band at this amazing venue. So
Okay.
it's-
So you're gonna bring in name bands mostly.
are.
That's
We
gonna
are.
be big deal bands that you get to see close up for a decent price.
absolutely, it's an intimate setting. It's an intimate performance. It's going to be nothing like you can see
Wow.
anywhere else.
Okay, this is a pretty cool idea.
It is a pretty cool idea. You
Yeah,
should go.
all right. We should. Can you get us in?
Well, we'll see. It depends.
We
you
don't
know.
really have
Become a
question.
patron of
You
the
know.
arts. Buy your ticket.
Yeah, you know, you got to get that first ticket, and then we'll talk about
Okay.
the rest of it.
Okay. No, I'm only kidding. We'd love
Yeah.
to go. I'd love to see what it's like.
Oh,
It's that
absolutely.
cool.
And you know, a lot of people are going to really see what they're paying for. It's a A+ venue.
This is an awesome job for you.
It is. I love it. It's great.
How did you get such a great job? Is
well,
it the
I
Jewish or
started-
the Cajun bit that got you
It's,
the job?
it's neither. I started at Live Nation. I was a marketing coordinator, and
Whereabouts?
At
Here,
Live
in
Nation
New
here,
Orleans?
yeah, at the Live Nation New Orleans office. I was a marketing coordinator there for about 2 years, and then in August I switched over to the Fillmore. So.
Well, you must be pretty damn good if they gave you this kicker. This is a
Well,
big
I
deal.
hope so. I have a lot.
A lot riding on it.
Yeah, it
Well,
is,
Are you
but-
stressed out about it?
You know,
You wake up in the middle of the night freaking out?
I used to, and then
Twitter?
you know, yes, I will say that has been the last couple of months of my life. However, now things that we've, you know, gotten over the hump of announcing our major things, and you know, gotten the hang of the things. It's going pretty smoothly. So I'm excited about what's to
Have
come.
you ever heard Andrew Duhon play before?
I don't know that I have.
Okay, wait
I'm
till you
excited
hear
to
this.
hear an intimate performance.
Okay.
Here it comes.
You'll turn that
Aziz,
around.
you want to give me? Yeah, exactly.
So-
Thank you, Aziz.
So as I was mentioning, I was out at the Black Pot this week, and yeah, you can throw it on there. It's fine. I wasn't going to write a Cajun song that quickly, but the other thing that the folkies like are sad country songs.
Yes, we do.
So I'm going to give you one of those. Brand new. How long has it been? Feels like almost forever since I've seen your face. Back when we were together, the ties that did bind your heart to mine, we thought would never sever. It was a good ride. It was almost forever. Time sure does fly by. Feels like almost forever. We used to laugh and cry and speak of growing old together. And we were so sure our love would endure through any winter's weather. There's a chill on my skin remembering when we were almost forever. What stings the most is that we were so close. I guess that's just the way it goes with us. Let us raise a toast to the ghost of love that still haunts the both of us. How long has it been? Feels like almost forever since that love we were in, since we were together. The ties that did bind your heart to mine, we thought would never sever. It was a good ride. It was almost forever. Oh, it was a good ride. It was almost forever.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Have to say, that was beautiful. What do you think?
Gorgeous.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Great.
Hey, well, you know, it's thanks to the Eunice Pines out there whispering to you.
That is one of the best things that's ever come out of a camping trip. Oh, I would say.
Yeah.
That's really a nice song. Strangely, it's not that depressing.
Oh, good. Yeah, I wanted. Yeah, bittersweet. It's the way I
Yeah.
wanted it to feel. I didn't want. Yeah, that good.
It doesn't
It's a little
seem sad. Do you
Good.
think, Aziz? Was there a songwriter
I
yourself?
think it's got a
Yeah.
really nice equilibrium.
It's like it's like
Yeah.
the speaker. Maybe like he doesn't have to cry about it anymore. You
Right,
know, it still
right.
burns, but it's like, you know, we can
It's
all
not-
enjoy the burn.
Hey, Andrew, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When you write a song like that kind of has like an aged perspective on it, do you ever like take on the role of like a character or like someone who is that old? Do you ever like preview yourself as a 65-year-old man writing that, and it opens up the song for you to write it?
I'll steal a line from Mr. Alex McMurray and say, "It ain't the years, it's the miles, brother." So I think it's out there for anybody to find. You just I'm picking up pieces that I've found along the way, whether they be sentiments that I so truly feel or sentiments that I recognize elsewhere from other
But
hearts
that's
and
interesting
souls and minds.
that
But
Thomas thought that was a song about an older person. I didn't think that at all. I just thought it was about a song about someone whose heart had been broken. And I thought it was, this is going to last forever, but it only lasted a few months.
Well,
or a
not
few-
necessarily 65, but someone who was definitely looking back at some things.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can look back after, you know,
No,
about
I agree.
things go wrong.
It was
I
about-
could have written it at Andrew's age.
It was
for
about
sure.
my kindergarten sweetheart. I'm just kidding. It wasn't. No, I think I remember my first manager who was from New Orleans, and she had friends who came out to the shows in L.A. because she was from L.A. and they all did the little gossipy thing. It's good, and you guys are gonna do great and all that. And but I thought one of them had a really interesting critique. She said, "Has he ever had his heart broken?
Wow.
I'm looking forward to hearing the songs he writes when he gets his heart broken."
Well, that must
Have
have
you?
been.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I think I've experienced that sort of loss at this point. So I wonder, whoever she was, but I don't know. I remember that thing and thinking it's just another thing that you pick up along the way as a human being. You know, you experience a death in the family or heartbreak or all the the some of the bad things, but then there's the exaltation of truly being in love, and there's songs that come out of that you probably can't write without doing it. You know,
Right.
so.
Andrew, Preble, is it the same about creating escape rooms? Do you have to feel trapped and claustrophobic to have come up with this?
I don't know that I need to feel trapped and claustrophobic, but you do need to feel. Yeah, I think you do need to create the art. You have to have felt the art that you're trying to create, and if you haven't, then it comes across, and so you can tell when you
It's inauthentic.
experience it. Yeah.
That's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah.
What about how central is Islam to your writing, Aziz?
I would say it's very much so in the background. I think religion is a very slippery slope, and it's almost too private of a thing to kind of, because the thing is when you put
More private than immigration?
well, when you put Christianity or Islam on the surface of what you're singing about, you become a certain type of song, a certain type of act. In Islamic culture, they have nasheed, which is basically like Islamic songs. You might hear them in like if you have a compilation of like Sufi music or something. My role, the way that I see it, is I'm representing and coming from a very young part of the world that is now similar to the U.S., kind of in decline. So the Arabian Peninsula is going
you
through.
better slow down. They're similar to the U.S. in decline?
Yeah. So
You think the United States is on the slippery slope?
yeah,
to
personal.
decline?
Yeah, I think so. But
Okay, along with what other countries?
I think what's happening is that we're becoming in a more polycentric world where you're going to have more world powers exerting influence, and this is like in 5-10 years. That's kind of the world we're going to be. You're going to have Brazil, you're going to have China, you're going to have Europe, whoever's representing.
Where is the power coming from?
It's just coming from their own infrastructure, really.
But how is Brazil going to suddenly be as powerful as the United States?
Well, they're
or-
going to
or
exert the
Russia?
same kind of. Yeah, Russia's another
How?
important one. Because
yeah.
you have the United Nations, you have these kind of agreements that are like moving us forward as a
But
humanity.
the United States has a huge economy and a huge number of people and a gigantic army,
Yeah.
as does Russia, as does China,
Yeah.
as does India. But what about this?
I think it's a more minute point. Maybe Brazil is not in there. Maybe it is.
Okay,
maybe it's
take
not.
Brazil out.
But so the thing is, like, we're moving towards a polycentric world.
But how are we
And-
declining? Are we? What do you
so
mean by decline?
in Kuwait specifically, you have this post-oil reality that everyone's kind of like settling in. There was a lot of lavish spending and a lot of comfort that is not being experienced by the average person there anymore.
Right.
And people are kind of thinking about environmental realities, about economic realities, and they're playing their cards however they want to play them. Similarly, in the U.S., there used to be this compass of we're leading in human rights, we're leading in all these like progressive initiatives and protecting freedom or whatever kind of spin you want to put on it.
Right, well.
But again, it's like personal opinion. I guess the way that I see what I'm doing is like, rather than kind of drawing on something as abstract and personal as like Islam, I'm drawing on my own personal experience of going through Kuwait and having that language really sit in with the rest of the world, because the Arabic language is, first of all, it's being demonized by the West in certain instances. In the home countries, a lot of people are unable, even Kuwaitis are unable to speak Arabic in a fluent manner because of whatever, you can call it colonialism or imperialism. But the reality is that like, it's not a language that's progressed. Like when you look at Japanese, when you look at Korean, a lot of these languages have learned how to adapt to a globalized world. Arabic has this kind of community of people that want to keep it pure, and so they get very uncomfortable when you're mixing it with rock music or when you're playing it with any kind of like foreign culture, really. And it goes all the way down to like the way that you dress, the way that you put on the headscarf and that kind of thing. So for me, I'm kind of like I kind of see myself as like a James Joyce of the Arabic language, kind of taking it, fragmenting it, seeing how I can recontextualize it, playing with the subconscious, because a lot of times the way that people use Arabic language, at least in my generation, you're not really seeing that kind of like playful kind of pushing the boundaries. A lot of people will kind of like choose the Arabic language and kind of stick to the tried and true, and kind of there's certain forms that you want to abide by, or you're kind of kicking it out the door and you're suddenly a Middle Eastern singer that's singing in English or in French or something, you know? So I think...
Are you in danger of upsetting people over there?
Usually, yeah. They're usually not too upset because what I'm doing is not on that scale where it is upsetting, you know? But I think a few more years, if I keep doing what I'm doing, it's probably going to reach a point where someone's not going to be super happy about what I'm doing, and they're going to think like, you know, I'm kind of misusing or misconstruing something.
Well, are you the kind of person that gets killed?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good for that.
Yeah, I think I have privileges that will prevent me from being killed. But at this point, I mean, hey, if they can kill a renowned journalist at the Washington Post, like, and they've been imprisoning like women who have been protesting the right to drive, and there's all these individuals who have been suffering for, you know, this kind of larger cause. So I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I think I'm pretty much fine because it's just music.
I'm
and
sure
people
they
don't
all
take it
thought
seriously.
Well, you want to play one more song before we get out of here?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. What do you say, guys? We've got time for one more.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great.
Nothing that's going to get you in any trouble
This song is just
with
about
the authorities
the
in
girl.
any country.
This one's about the girl next door. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Oh yes, tilt that mic.
نقية نقية شفافة ندى عذبتني بعذوبتك لا أستطيع تذوقك ندى بنت جيراننا ندى بحيرة في قطرة ماء ندى من جيراننا ندى بحيرة في قطرة ماء.
Okay. So the person who that song. Whoa, hang on, we're losing. Hang on a sec. So is the person's name Netta?
You guessed it right.
That's right. So that was your first girlfriend?
You could say that.
Netta. Does Netta mean anything, or is it just an
Yes, I'm so glad that you asked that. So the song is laced with like naturalistic metaphors. So a lot of aquatic references to water,
Sharks.
to lakes, sharks maybe in there. But yeah, you know, usually I do these songs and I try to let people know that translations are available online, or they can hit me up after a show or whatever. But usually the response is people are just kind of floored by the sound, the beauty of the
Yeah.
sound, and
It's
especially
fun, isn't it? To hear
Absolutely. Your
this.
voice is gorgeous.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And you can imagine it with like 6 other people. We're onboarding a new accordion player in Kuwaisiana. We have a new bassist, and then the other 4 or 5 guys in there I've been playing with for 3 years.
Okay.
So it's like a beautiful wall of sound, and
That's
I kinda sing into
Kuwaisiana,
it.
and we can steal it off of Spotify and everything else. It's
Yeah.
available.
Are
Okay.
you playing anywhere around here recently?
Well, that would be up to you.
Aside
we
from
have
us.
a hi-ho show, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
When?
It's in December 2nd.
Nice.
Yeah, we're using November to put out a music video and kick out two more tracks. So I'm kind of trying to compartmentalize and not do everything all at once.
Smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you need to hear the new Andrew Duhon record as well, called False River. Have you
Yeah,
heard
I
that?
was on your
Oh,
Facebook
my.
page today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, really good stuff. And you
Thanks.
you were touring a whole bunch in October too, right? It's not just Lafayette.
Yeah. Before that, but I can't remember before that because after you sleep in a tent for a week, you just lose everything before.
Blew everything out of your mind.
And kudos to you because that's simply put. I think it's brave and amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So keep venturing that way. To be
Yes.
breaking new ground artistically into something that might not be readily accepted by everybody. But what you're going to end up finding or doing, I predict, is inspiring people through over wide reaches by doing so. So, thanks, dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
It's cool. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
not
too.
just on Happy Hour, but in New Orleans.
Just
It's
in
really-
New Orleans.
Yes,
right?
it's a really cool.
It could have
thing
been
for us.
anywhere and ended up being New
Yeah.
Orleans. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming here. Hey, listen, today's show has been brought to us by Basics Swimming Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. Basics Swimming Gym is next to the lingerie store Basics underneath on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, and by Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. You can go to hdestroyer.com and write Happy Hour on the coupon code. You'll get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer. And you too can seize the dawn, and thank you to the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of the arts, music, culture, and heritage. And if you'd like to be a member of our Patreon family, go to patreon.com and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour, and for as little as $1 a month, you too can get all kinds of free stuff. I don't know how much free stuff we're giving away, really, but maybe we need to talk to some of these marketing people around
Yeah,
the table here.
Sounds like a good
Everybody
idea to
seems to know
me.
more
Free
about
stuff.
marketing than us,
Free
Andrew.
stuff.
Merch,
Yeah.
merch.
Yeah. So Alex Rosen, the Cajun Jew, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
it.
awesome. We're looking forward to seeing the Fillmore, the inside of the Fillmore at
Oh,
the Harris
yeah.
Casino.
Well, I look forward to seeing y'all.
Especially getting our free tickets. That's going to be awesome. And Andrew Preble, when does the extinction department of the Escape Room
Yes,
open
so
at the Waterman
Escape
Aquarium?
Extinction Sharks opens at the aquarium on November 13th. So
Okay.
pretty soon.
November 13th. That's coming right up.
Yeah.
right.
Coming right
Well,
up.
you must be freaking out. I'm glad that you took an hour off.
I'm trying to remain calm.
You seem pretty calm, actually.
Yeah.
Well, you had 2 or 3 of these drinks.
Yeah, I
so that's
took
what-
2 drinks. So
So that's
not
not
too
bad. Okay,
Yeah,
an hour. Yeah. Okay. And Andrew Duhon, where are we seeing you play around town these days?
November 28th, I believe, is a solo show at Chikiwawa, and then we do our Christmas thing at Carrollton Station on December 15th.
Oh, I
so
love that show. Okay,
we
that's
love
going to
that
be cool.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
And Aziz, Kuwaisiana is everywhere. Are you playing around town?
Not in November. In November,
Okay.
it's just for onboarding new people,
Okay.
releasing some new content, and then our next show is going to be Hi Ho on December 2nd with Montebank, which is an Austin-based band. They supported us when we played there, so we're supporting them here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Man, this has been a fucking great show. It's been very interesting today. Thank you all for being here. That's been Happy Hour.
Thank you
Another
for
week.
having us.
You're welcome. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our music producers are Christian Unruh and Monique Pyle, and Thomas Walsh is our technical director. Our Facebook live feed director is Asher Griffith, and our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Searock. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about 60 minutes while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out many other happy hours we've made previously to this one, and some other shows we make around here as well, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and our award-winning podcast about death, called Death the Podcast. Very appropriate for Halloween. By the way, haven't even mentioned Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on a bunch of time-sucking social media, like, for example, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all of it we're called It's New Orleans, and you can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our It's New Orleans Facebook page. These photos are taken today by Jill LaFleur, and you can find more of Jill's photos at lafleurphoto.com. It's a whole Cajun theme here today. If you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you have one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hours, a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon and everyone else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. Happy Halloween. We'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.